All right, you good?
Yeah.
Cool. I will do a poll for who wins soon. Or you? Oh. Well, while we're doing that, let me figure out all the other things that I need to do because I'm totally ready for this cast. Hey, here we go. Also, Supercarve RG, thank you so much for the itty bitty contributee. I can't finish the rest of that. All right. Did you make it into draft?
Yes.
Sweet. We are already cooking with gas. So Tychus still has to be the first ban. And a Mephisto ban comes out. The Mephisto change did get reverted, but Mephisto is still a really strong character. I think that's a fun one to bring onto this map.
It's also a specialist by XAT. According to my notes, he played a lot of him in this season so far, as well as Season 10.
Oh, ProBUs did?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. I like Mephisto. He's a fun mage to play.
Oh yeah, and like you said, tons of AoE damage.
Yeah, and the Mei ban comes out. Been seeing a lot of Mei ban. She's kind of a popular tank right now, and she missed the nerf stick on this recent patch. And Chromie, who did get nerfed pretty hard, still a big threat. I know I had sand put where I didn't want it a few days ago playing against Chromie right after the nerf. So Sonya comes out. First pick is the Sonya. Exactly what you predicted. So what do you think? I mean, the first pick Sonya is not a whole lot to show, but what do you think we bring with the Sonya? What do you think we take to counter the Sonya?
Sonya's just in a really strong spot right now because Blizzard buffed the W build, which used to be considered a bit weaker, but now it's just really overtuned. But to counter a Sonya, there's really not much you can do. I know ReGen Ghost does play Gaslow. It's about a 50-50 in lane, but he brings a lot to team fights in the form of CC and huge setups for Wombos. And we do have Orphea and Johanna, which works well for that as well.
Yeah, definitely some really interesting combos coming out with that Johanna and Orphea pick, which gets responded to by Diablo in the Falstad. I'm really interested in Diablo post-nerf. I think that extra heal immediately makes up for the nerf and the heal over time.
And Falstad did get some major changes as well. He lost his bribe, but he got Boomerang, which is an extra damage explosion on his Q. That was made baseline as well as some really strong buffs to his W build.
Yeah, taking away the bribe takes away that stacking damage, but they put it back in that quest. I think it's overall, I think the general consensus is while a little bit slower because of not having bribe, that he's overall a more reliable camp taker, as well as a very brutal fighter if he can get that quest stacked up, which is going to be a lot harder now because it only works on heroes as intended. And they do ban away the Gazo and the Deckard. Deckard, really good interrupt for a Johanna Orphea combo, really good setup for things like APOC. So I support the Deckard ban for ReGen Ghost here.
Yep, definitely. And taking away the Gazo is a little hard, but to your question, how do you counter Sonya in lane? I think they need an offlaner with some CC, because W build Sonya, unlike auto attack, really struggles with self-sustain early on. So by taking a stun or someone who can silence or interrupt her whirlwind, she won't be able to heal.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen a lot. I've heard things about the whirlwind build being stronger again, but I'm also curious about the slam build here because it's solid AoE. We do see Stukov and Cassia come out, which can help counter the counter, I think. Get up in their face and silence out some of that CC. But what are your thoughts on the slam build as opposed to the spin build?
Oh, Leoric.
Dirty bathtub.
Leoric has traditionally matched up well against Sonya because his drain life is good no matter what. Like, Slam is great late game. As a Sonya player, I think Whirlwind is more of an early game build. You tend to have less damage in the late game talents, the 13, 16, and 20, and you instead go for more survivability and move speed. But yeah, Leoric is a really good pick. I like it. It's really strong at level 20 as well with the Buried Alive upgrade.
Yeah, that's I agree. The Silence and Tomb is really good, and so is the I mean, I think Joanna's setup will be really strong for the Orphea too. So I think if ReGen Ghost is just going for the Wombo, but it looks like ProBUs is looking for one. Their portrait synergy is on point, but I think they're going for the kind of a Protect the Sonya kind of a setup. APOC, you got the Stukov to help prevent interrupts. Cassia is going to be in their face, drawing attention. But I think they're going to be relying heavily on Sonya for this game.
Yeah, definitely. In a lot of their earlier games, I noticed that Sonya was one of their highest damage dealers, dealing like equal, if not more than that of their assassins as well. Her W is like really strong right now. But you raise a good point. Roland is also really powerful because when you're on the objective, you can just spin to win and heal up for a massive amount.
Absolutely. Would you introduce to us this blue team?
All right, so for ProBUs, we've got 8-Bit on Diablo, Sage on Sonya, John Bunyan on Cassia, Xati on Falstad, and Irby on Stukov.
And over here on the red team, we have Aaron on Lee Yorick. Uther is being played by Andrew Litterek on the Jimmy the Large Minion Rainer. They all shuffled. Dub C613 on the Orphea Orphan, and Mongoose rocking Joanna. That is your team. ReGen Ghost. Here they are in the middle lane. Nobody wanting to do anything. Nobody want to show themselves. Let's see what these level 1s are. A lot of stacking quests for ProBUs, and only one stacking quest for ReGen Ghost. But ProBUs is the team that went ahead and decided to start soaking the off lane instead of getting free stacks.
And we do see ReGen Ghost take rotational priority. They cleared mid lane first, which is going to allow them to control this rotate point down the left. So we do see Diablo getting stunned by Uther early on. Let's see if anything comes out of it.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to split and start the double rotation, but Sonya and Leoric having a little bit of an interaction. Sonya at about 2/3 of her health. Leoric going to walk away clean. Looks like Leoric is winning that harass. But back here in the middle lane, we have a 4v4 skirmish. Maybe not, just a lot of sitting and soaking as Rainer does start to pick up the siege camp. Early game, I don't really expect to see a whole lot out of these teams other than just camps and soak, and then maybe the bruisers up top beating the crap out of each other. Speaking of which,
Sonya is getting beaten up real hard.
Sonya walking away with 140 health, and Leoric saying, I can clean that up for you. Because he's the janitor skin.
It's a really interesting matchup. As I said, Leoric deals percent damage, which is really good. And Sonya now, it's on the W for Leoric, so he's going to have some issues now.
Yeah, Leoric definitely getting a little beaten down. Sonya is in that Seismic Slam level 1. ReGen Ghost does pick up the bottom camp, while ProBUs does get their own siege camp.
Also
and they make
getting
it
low and getting chased down and killed by Raynor.
First blood over to ReGen Ghost, chasing a Falstad. Bold of them at level 4 on a chase. It pays off for them. They're going to get a little bit of an XP advantage. And overall, a good trade for ReGen Ghost. I did forget to start a poll, so let me get that started real quick. In the mid lane, 4-man gank on 5-man gank onto the Diablo. Diablo not going to get out of this one.
Someone goes down, meanwhile Sonya's trying to clear off these minions, push in, and maybe lose a bit of the XP, because Leoric is going for an invade with the rest of his team on this bruiser camp.
Yeah, absolutely. 5-man invade on this bruiser camp, and blue team just going to sit there and watch, not wanting to get engaged and caught out. There is now a prediction active now that we're 3 minutes into this game. Use your channel points, vote for either ProBUs or ReGen Ghost. You have 5 minutes to pick who's going to win this game. And I hear you can get puppy treats and taco exercises for those fuzzy taco lips. So bet your points.
So blue team is going to clear off that bruiser camp and get started on the objective. Meanwhile, Falstad.
Diablo with the flip onto the Mongoose. Ironscape comes out into the Finn. A 4-man group with the Condemn, but no level 7. Subdue quest not going to get completed there because he doesn't have it yet. But a really good response from Joanna, ready to press that D to save her life. It's not that hard, but Uther coming down to save as well. Re-engaging from Sonya back onto Ghost. This is a flip onto Leoric, who is going to Ghost Walk out, as the AoE coming out of ReGen Ghost is going to pick up a lot of this Infernal Shrine, but now they're looking pretty low, and ProBUs in a position to strike back. Good flip.
Just flipped and has the attention of the entire blue team on him.
Oh man. Yeah, to have 5 people looking at you and get out at half health is pretty dang good. All right, level 7s are out. Mongoose saying, can we do that flip again, please? I want my subdue. But Falstad going to fall. And Ghost just kind of picking up that talent tier and just kind of going wild on him, huh? Or A, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I am Canadian. But yeah, that was a really good fight by ReGen Ghost. They secured the objective, and it's a frozen Punisher, so they'll be able to disable the defensive structures during this push.
Yeah, absolutely. Frozen Punishers definitely the ones you want to fight for. Lucky for Ghost that it came out in this first objective, although I'm curious if they're going to get a lot of damage because of just the low level right now. 8-Bit getting out with about a quarter of his health.
So he has to tap. While that's pushing in, they took down the front wall already. Falstad gets stunned.
Look for the subdue right here. No, it's a 3-man condemned. Able to pick up the Falstad though. Falstad not catching a break. Already 3 of the 4 deaths in this game. And ReGen Ghost looking to have a field day at the moment early on before level 10. And looking at the heroics, I think it just gets better for them at level 10.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I really like Uther on this map because he has both Cleanse and Guardian of Ancient Kings, so he can defend anyone who gets stunned by the objective. Meanwhile, Sukop doesn't really have anything like that. So you saw in these fights when Punisher goes in, jumps, the person goes down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing we'll see similar is maybe reactive ballista spores late in the game. I do want to also point out, Shui in chat observing for the first time that you are Canadian and has declared you his new favorite bud.
Pleasure's mine. Oh, Shui.
All right, so that's a quick 2 camps picked up for ReGen Ghost. And Team ProBUs looking to get back into this game. They're down over a level, way late on heroics. Do you think they can get to level 10 before this next objective? And how do they do it?
I don't think they're going to get to level 10, but they do have a global in Falstad, so he should be able to soak the lanes, get 10 for his team, and then rejoin the fight. Oh, and Entomb comes down.
Yeah, nice Entomb. The Eternal Feast not really going very long, but they do secure the kill onto Diablo, which is kind of really all you need. It's now a 5v4 until Diablo's back up, but he did have souls, so here he comes back into the fight. But Sonya at 9 health, single-digit health coming out of that Orphea E. Dreadwave. Really, really close call for Sonya. So interesting to note, Diablo is in W build, as Beast has pointed out in chat. W build did not get touched by this most recent patch, and once you start getting the damage reduction, that's gonna really hinder an Orphea Eternal Feast in that bathtub. Also, Lightning Breath with the spell art, with the spell power from the level 13 talent in the fire build will be nice too. But I don't know that they have the control. I don't know that this gives him enough control over ReGen Ghost. Speaking of which, Aaron getting ganked, walks through the silence, is able to get out. I'm concerned this W build without APOC is not enough control over the enemy team, although they do have Leap and Gust and Shove, so they can isolate and bail if they need to.
Yeah, I think W build is a safer pick because they did get nerfs to his Q build, the armor on 4, as well as the auto attack build, the healing on 4. So W build has been played, I guess, being played as a counter to all that CC with the Uther, with the Leoric, with the Johanna. That little bit of unstoppable might buy them enough time to counter engage on to ReGen Ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. Bonderman, welcome to the stream, and yes, your message is highlighted.
Oh no, Diablo getting caught out. He lost all his souls the last time he went down, and he's gonna go down again.
That was a really interesting combo as well, because the Entomb kind of farther out from where the rest of the fight was. The Eternal Feast did manage to hit the Diablo, but not on top of the Entomb either. Nice Divine Shield coming out from the Uther to protect himself. Orphea does fall. That is a 2-for-2 trade. And really the coordination looked a little sloppy at the moment from both teams going into that fight.
New York's going to come back up because of his trade. Using reduced duration on his death timer by landing his W.
Stukov tried. Oh, Stukov did try to zone for the rest of his team to get them out, but Leoric dead walking over to him and comes up. Stukov not able to leave in time. Ugh.
Yeah, it's pretty good for ReGen Ghost right now. No healer, they really can't pick a fight on the side of ProBUs. Just gonna clear out these lanes, get to level 13, hopefully be able to defend this Immortal push. It's gonna be an Arcane Punisher coming down the mid lane.
Yeah, Cassia was looking at this bottom camp, decided not to get it, but this Arcane Punisher definitely going super uncontested. ProBUs now on the same talent tier, ready maybe to pick a fight after they clear this Punisher. Depends on how much health they lose here in the process.
Diablo posting up, ready to tank the jump. Here it is. Hyperion comes out, dealing a lot of damage to structures. Wall's gonna go down soon.
Yeah, the wall's down. The Punisher also gonna fall as well. The lingering damage still gonna be there for a little bit.
We're gonna rotate to the bot lane and take out that fort as well. So right now, ReGen Ghost has all 3 forts and all 3 keeps, meanwhile ProBUs is down to their 3 keeps.
Yeah, they are looking to come back in. So down 3 structures into almost down to talent here. Diablo gets... There's the Feast with no combo, but that's alright. It is a short cooldown. Diablo walking out with 600 health. There's a Divine Shield on the Leoric. Leoric trying to get caught up. The Silence maybe not doing as much as he wanted, but Diablo going Fire Breath with 400 health. Self-interrupts. Doesn't get to walk out. Orphea getting a double kill. Leoric cleaning up the Diablo. And that is a 3-for-0 fight in favor of ReGen Ghost. With everything happening so quickly, I'm still trying to figure out how the Punisher died.
Falstad gets out, so what do you think they do now with 3 people dead?
Soak.
So, yeah, they have a 3-level advantage. They're probably going to go for this invade into the top bruiser camp. Then move down to take their siege camp in the bottom lane.
Wait, did you mean Ghost or ProBUs?
Ghost.
Oh, Ghost? You turn everything red that you, well, in the case of Ghost, you turn everything blue that you can. For us, it's red. They can't contest at the moment. They do have their team back up. Death timers, I mean, ProBUs is level 14. Death timers are short. And right now, they need to stop making the mistakes. Honestly, I think the positioning mistakes are what's kind of contributing, and if they start waiting for Ghost to make a mistake and just play the map, then I think ProBUs has a shot at getting back in it.
I thought that maybe ReGen Ghost would have gone for the keep right away, but they got a ton of value. First they took the user camp, and then they just type here and take out that mid keep. So now there are going to be catapults coming with every wave of minions.
Yes, absolutely. So that is a lot of lane pressure. Unfortunately for Ghost, this next shrine, the Mortar Shrine here in the bottom side, is going to be close enough to that middle lane that ProBUs, if they're able to manage the shrine appropriately and deal with ReGen Ghost on it, they can still clear out that mid wave and have it not be a threat, as opposed to if that were like the top lane or something. So Gust is
burning his Gust. Yeah. So that's not going to be up during the objective.
Yeah, that's
not yet going to have 16. So.
I don't know how I feel about that Gust use. I think everyone was out.
Better safe than sorry.
Uh-oh. Oh, all right, so let us go. Let me hit all my buttons to get back to where nobody is looking at the stream to figure out where people are. Namely, ProBUs looking at ReGen Ghost on their camp. Somebody's at the door. Someone's at the door. Who? Yeah, exactly. Mongoose asking the real questions. Who ordered DoorDash during NGS? The audacity. That part was added by me. So, Azriel, I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry. I want to know you said it a little bit, but I want to know. Oh, we're back. And we're back. That 3-2-1, but holy crap, that was a fast pause.
So Ghost is going to be starting this objective, while Proby is just going to get their 16. So this will be an even talent tier fight. So both teams will have the same amount of abilities. Ballstat's Gust is up in 17 seconds. Johanna going to pop her Iron Skin, getting out. About 25 seconds more on that before it's next up.
And Leoric, oh, 400 health, just enough for it to start showing up. Walks out of there, ghost walks, so he's not ghost walking. And a nice charge on Mongoose into the wall, but here comes the Iron Skin. The Lightning Breath is late coming out, facing the wrong direction. There's the Divine Shield onto the Uther, and the Eternal Feast gonna pick up the Sonya, and Stukov going to fall as well, but Dubsy getting picked up by the Diablo, flipped around. The Leoric falls in the backline, distracting the rest of ProBUs. The rest of ProBUs just being Cassie at this moment, as the entirety of her teammates have been removed from the battlefield.
Yeah, Diablo's going to come back up again after his 100 souls, and at 16 he took Overpowering Nightmare instead of the damage reduction. That actually means that he'll be able to throw out more W's, because Fire Stomp is reset every time he stuns someone based on the level 4 talent.
Yes.
A lot more healing potential.
Yes, so he did not take the damage reduction, which I kind of think you want into that Orphea combo, but getting more ease, just like you said, a lot more W's, a lot more damage and healing. A lot more healing from that too. Unless you get silenced by the level 20 Leoric as John Cena jumps on your face from the top rope.
Yeah, that kill's probably going to do it. They have
found Uther and Orphea go down as well. What a clutch silence coming out from Irby. Irby here to save the day. 4-man kill for Ghost, but Irby goes down after taking out 2. Not going to be enough. The core is falling. That is game number 1 in favor of ReGen Ghost. That felt very one-sided, but I will say, even to the end, ProBUs put up such a fight and and it was exciting to watch all the way till 20% core health. So Azriel, thoughts on that game that we just saw? Looking at this stat screen that I'm not showing the chat. Here we go. Looking at this stat screen, what stands out?
Well, stats don't tell the whole story, and I see a bunch of zeros, so there's not much story to tell. But, what I saw, just the rotational priority on ReGen Ghost was like super good. Like cleared mid lane first, then they went bot first, so they were always a step ahead. It seemed, compared to ProBUs. It gave them ganks, it gave them early level leads, and then they turned those level advantages into objective advantages, and they never took their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got added like as you were talking. So I was trying to figure out what am I responding to, and it's you because I'm talking to you right now. So, yes, and I agree. I think the numbers reflect that. The XP from Leoric compared to actually the Falstad and the Sonya, overall, just a lot of aggressive play out of the Ghost. And you're absolutely right. They never ever let up. There were plenty of opportunities that ProBUs could look for to get back into the game, but ReGen Ghost never yielded a single one of them.
A really good play. And we saw some great counter engages actually on the side of ReGen Ghost. Like the Uther Divine Shields were really great. Like there was a time in that last final team fight on the objective, Sonya leapt in with Divine Shield. She got out of position and went down.
Yeah, it just the Protect the Sonya comp. I assume that was kind of a Protect the Sonya, will make Sonya do all the heavy lifting. Just wasn't it wasn't quite coming together. I think the disrupt from Joanna and Uther, the Raynor knockback with the shotgun, it was just too much for really only one source, well, two sources of hard CC. We are currently waiting on the next map, and my wife is making me do push-ups. So, while we're waiting on the next map, if you want to contribute to the push-up cam that I do not currently have, I got a dab too. I got a dab. If you want to be able to see things like my off-screen dab, there's a dab. all right, and then I'd be like, huh. And yeah, so if you want to see the push-ups, you gotta contribute to the push-up cam. Asriel, I will be right back. I have 10 push-ups to do.
Okay, so I couldn't see the stats in my game, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope you were talking through all of that.
I was just taking a look at the stats because they weren't showing up on my game. But yeah, 6 deaths on Diablo was kind of unfortunate. He got picked off a lot, got out of position a lot, and yeah, no mercy on the side of ReGen Ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. It was brutal, but it was still like I didn't feel like ProBUs was ever out of it either. You know?
Yeah, hang in there with the use of Falstad being able to soak and then fly in. He did get ganked, I think 2 or 3 times, at least 2 times.
All right, we do have the next game up. You can join off of me. It looks like we are going to. Oops, I showed y'all already. Towers of Doom. Towers of Comebacks. That says Volskaya Foundry. First draft team is Team 1. So map picked by ReGen Ghost, and you know what? I do enjoy Towers of Doom, so Naps, here's your dab as well. I don't see, why do I have stupid point redeems on here? Why? No one ever redeems. No one ever redeems the Eminem rap break though.
Yeah, this map has been played by ReGen Ghost, I think, twice in their 4 games uploaded so far, and they've won both times. So it looks to be a really strong showing for them.
Yeah, I casted one of them, and I'm not gonna, in case there's any ProBUs sniffing around, for the sake of fairness, I'm not gonna say what happened too much, but they, like you said, they did win it. Towers of Doom does seem to be a strong map. Someone is redeeming a treat for the pet. So yeah, let's make that happen. Fortunately, my head moderator is in the same room as me and can deliver said pet. So let me go over to a different view real quick. Let's see if this works. Oh. Sorry about that. I forgot that there's no audio on that screen, but I figured making the camera bigger was better for everybody. That is Darian Mosnack's High Pup of the Ebon Blade. All right, so Towers of
He's
Doom.
only a pup.
He what?
He's only a puppy?
Yeah, that's a 10-pound puppy.
Wow.
But he's small, too. He's actually, like, he's only going to grow up to be like 20 pounds. He's like 6 months old, so he might not be a puppy anymore. Oh, that was...
ProBUs.
Yeah.
They're spec bound on the Uther. Makes sense.
Towers of Doom. It's 4-man bot, right?
Taking away Mephisto again from Xavier.
Again. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking over you every single time. So, a Uther ban, Respect ban, the TLV ban, really strong on this map, and last time that ReGen Ghost played this map, the TLV came in real big for them, so that looks like a scouting ban. Chromie and Mephisto still really strong heroes, also probably target against Zadie, Katie, I don't know. Exciati.
Sonya again, and no Uther to pin her down. Let's see if it works out for them. Ooh, but a Tychus and a May to respond, so that's really strong combination as well.
May and Tychus along with the into a Sonya. Yeah, I like it. I think that's some really good CC. You got zoning from Tychus, you got knockbacks and stuns and slows, and I mean, you got them spectacles. Like, everything about May is something to be respected. Shui, can I get a simp in the house? The ongoing joke is that Shui's a simp for people in my household. So, yeah. Lunara variant, that's interesting. That I find interesting. And variant is picked up by the tank player. Is this a taunt variant, or is there a swap somewhere in here?
I don't think, I think taunt variant has been played exclusively in competitive. The other builds just don't match up, and plus Blizzard keeps on buffing taunt variant. Like, he recently got an HP buff like 2 or 3 patches ago, so he's one of the strongest tanks in terms of HP right now.
In terms of HP, really? I thought he was a squishy tank.
He's only squishy until level 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
As everyone calls him, the just a melee minion for the first 3 levels.
Yeah, he definitely got to be careful with them. Sonya might be enough extra frontline. The Lunara some finishing damage. I'm curious what they use to supplement it, and also the healer. Maybe a Brightwing.
Ooh.
Oh no,
Really
oh
good.
My goodness, we got Deathwing and also Neltharion in here. Deathwing and the giant version of Deathwing. Both picked up by ReGen Ghost. Nuclear Goose with the gift sub. Murda RG rating in with 10. My man, let's go. How was your cast? Everything coming in right now. Absolute hype. Naps, thank you for the gift sub to Nuclear Goose. And Azrael, run us down this draft. Now that we're not distracted anymore.
I think this is a really good draft for ReGen Ghost. They've still yet to pick their offlaner, maybe a double stoker, but currently they have May, and Leoric. But they have a May, they have a Tychus, a Deathwing who's immune to CC, and a Brightwing with Polymorph, Leoric as well. I don't think Variant has any good targets right now.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to pick off. Okay, so there was a swap. I don't know if you noticed, but Aaron, the offlaner, picked up the Deathwing, and kind of what we're talking about with the variant. We thought Deathwing would be the offlaner on Aaron, however, switched over to Dub C, who we saw is their mage player.
Mage, yeah.
So Mage Wing in the 4-man with Leoric in the offlane. This is a triple bruiser comp with Tychus for a good chunk of the damage. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Deathwing with the delay, and but the Sonya, Tassadar, Lunara, that's a lot of poke as well, along with the Ana. Ana gonna have a hard time into Deathwing. So now that we're loading in, let me know what you think while I get this prediction started.
I gotta give the draft to ReGen Ghost. Like, it's really hard for Varian to get value. You just have to basically poke them down, which is not what a Varian wants, right? He wants teammates who are able to blow up enemies like as soon as he goes in.
Absolutely. We are getting loaded in. Nuclear Goose, congratulations on your gift sub. Also, Nuclear Goose, a really cool guy, streams some RPG stuff. Go check him out at his stream as well. He's not streaming right now, so I don't feel bad saying that. Azrael, let's run us down ProBUs again.
Right, so on the side of ProBUs, we got 8-Bit playing Varian, Sage on Sonya again, John Bunyan on Tassadar, X80 on Lunara, and Irby on Ana.
Absolutely, and over here in the red trunks, they're all stacked up together. Andrew on the Brightwing, WC613 on the Deathwing, Aaron on the Leoric, Literak on the Tychus, Mongoose on the May. That is team ReGen Ghost, looking to make it a sweep. ProBUs, can they stop it? And another gift sub goes out. Thank you, Notvella, for gift subbing. Congratulations to Masked Introvert.
See a lot of poke coming out in the middle lane. A bunch of abilities being burned. Varian does not have the taunt yet, so he cannot engage until level 4. He can slow down this rotation with his Q, his Lion's Fang.
Do you see anything interesting in these level 1 talents?
Everything looks pretty standard. Heat Transfer on May gives a lot of sustain, as with Molten Blood on Deathwing. So they're just gonna have a lot of healing to counteract any poke that ProBUs might throw out. Same on ProBUs, it's all the standard builds. Sentinel, Wisp, that might come in handy at level 20 should Brightwing take Invisible Friends. Yeah, it's one of the few warding abilities in the game, so may as well make the full use of it.
The Sentinel Wisp, absolutely. There's a lot of controversy in some of the circles that I run about Sentinel Wisp, that it feels bad, but when it works, boy does it work. Oh, that was...
It's a great counter to heroes that make use of invisibility. So Zeratul is pretty popular. Chromie and her time traps turn invisible. Deathwing just breathing fire on all of them. Lunara is getting really low.
A lot of Lightning Breaths coming out. Trying to get some poke damage out.
They're going to clear out this camp that ProBUs took, so they have 3 Pumpkin Sappers. If those guys get close enough to the tower, they're going to deal a massive amount of damage.
Yeah, ProBUs doing a really good job getting that cleared up after theirs got cleared. And we see May, Burning Blizzard on the wave, trying to get as much help to the Sappers as possible. They're not going to get through.
Right. So Literak had to leave a bit early because Leoric still didn't take his level 4, the Neo Peasants, which enables him to be an effective double soaker. Now that he's got it, we should see him joining his team in the bot lane sometime soon.
Is that how that... Oh, a big taunt onto the Literak. Brightwing coming in. The true Terror of the Skies coming to save Literak. Tychus getting a lot of damage onto the Varian. Varian regretting every life choice he made from the start of rolling as a human in the Alliance. Every choice Varian's made up until now. Going back through that diary. Dear Anduin, I am sorry.
A really clutch save by the Brightwing, and I think that's how the rest of the game is going to go. There's not a lot of targets for Varian to taunt.
Honestly, if they can grab May, they don't have the silence. They don't have the silence from Sukov, so they can't stop her from trading after the taunt. But if they can grab May and then maybe a leap on top, they might be able to kill her and then get the rest. But again, 3 bruises is going to be hard to play into. I think they drafted into top Varian very well. 2 altars go over to the side of ReGen Ghost. One. Ooh, excuse me. I am so sorry about that. And 1 over to ProBUs. Pretty standard exchange for the way the game's looking right now. So, you're ProBUs. You realize you don't have a whole lot of targets, and you got to win this game to stay in the set.
How do you do it?
How do you do it, my friend?
I think it's up to the Sonya to out-clear and beat up this Leoric. But this is the same matchup we saw in the last game, and it seemed that Leoric was having a bit of an advantage. Here comes the gank squad. Leoric's going to wisely rotate away, and he's just going to play safe for now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if Anna, Lunara, and Sonya are roaming around together, they could be the girls' gank squad, another great NGS related community for Heroes of the Storm. Check them out. I am all about the spots today. Plug in everyone. We have time.
Leoric's going to turn on that offline renewal, so that's a 120-second cooldown, but it's reduced by 20 seconds every time he gets a globe. So by double soaking, he can really cut down on that.
Yeah, I think that's
this,
a really strong talent for double soaking Leoric.
It looks like Sonya's getting a bit of a rotational advantage. She's going to clear this lane out, and then head back top.
A clutch!
No,
Oh my goodness,
join.
the hyper shift onto the Mongoose. Gonna stay alive for way too long. 8-bit trying to get out of there. And everyone stays alive, so a lot of fighting, a lot of buttons pressed, nobody dies. Why are we even here, Azriel?
Just watching the healer show. I think ReGen's Ghost Healer has been really clutch for the last game and a half. May's getting taunted, she's going to go down.
Yeah, if you look at those healing numbers, May dying, second death of the game. Honestly, I missed it. It was on the screen, but I missed it. I'm looking at these healing numbers.
A taunt followed by a sleep dart from Ana, so really good CC chain there.
Okay, so they didn't need the silence. They just needed the. Oh, you know what? So, did we get 8% max health? I'm looking to see. I don't think we're taking the talents for it, but I was gonna say if we take spell power reduction when you on doses, and doses on sleep, then you taunt, you sleep. The Mei shield is not going to heal for hardly anything. But that's like super targeting the Mei. Another taunt onto the Mei, looking for the blow up on her yet again. Realizing that you got to get through the tank to get to the rest of that team, but oh wait, there's a Deathwing there and also a fire-breathing dragon.
This Mage Wing, although he is classified as a bruiser, by taking all of the Molten Flame talents, he's played very much like a mage. He does extremely high damage, and he's generally from a safe position when throwing out his Qs.
And still really hard to kill. Yeah, I think Mage Wing is a really good pick in general in the 4-man. But, and it's super punishing. The only problem is his mobility, but Literak gonna go down, gets caught by the heal block and the slow. Brightwing not able to phase shift in time anyway, so Literak gonna go down. Brightwing also gonna go down for her efforts. And that is a two kill over to ProBUs, so now up 3-1 in kills. They have about the same amount of XP, no, down by 20-ish. A huge turn of events for ProBUs, looking to come into this objective with a slight advantage. Brightwing gonna be able to show up on time. I think they just trade altars, so not going how we thought it would.
Yeah, the Sonya, instead of getting ganks on the Orc, she's been rotating down to help her team out, and it's really paying dividends for them. They're able to catch up. Meanwhile, she's getting ganked by A.
And an Ice Wall miss. Sonya, like you said, not able to catch that. Here comes a Cataclysm for zoning reasons. While this altar is getting channeled, no, Aaron caught in his own entomb is going to be buried in it by the tower, thanks to the help of Sonya, Tassadar, and Lunara. Nothing else going to happen. Both teams going to disengage. So now, real quick, let's run through the.
Well, I think ReGen Ghost managed to steal that altar, even though they lost their Leoric there.
Did they?
So now it's an 8-point. Yeah, it's an 8-point advantage for them. May's going down again. Or not? She got that Lunara poison on her.
And there's the Brightwing Hypershift. Okay, so now hopefully we have a second heroics for both teams. We got Taunt and Shield Wall for Varian Leap, Archon, Leaping Strike, and Nano Boost coming in against the Ice Wall, the Odin, the Emerald Wind. You don't see that very often. Bellowing Roar and Entomb. Looks like we're looking for disengages off of ReGen Ghost with that Emerald Wind and such.
Emerald Wind being a knockback talent is really useful against Taunt Varian, really useful against Sonya. Also, denying any sort of value from Sentinel Wisp at 20, any potential value.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, in the chat, a mention about Emerald Wind not affecting Deathwing. Yes, especially when the Deathwing is on your own team, it will not affect the Deathwing. That is correct. That is my wife. I am proud of her. She is my healer. Both in life and in game. So
equal talent tiers. The Wisp in that bush, so I'm gonna posture up aggressively. Varian going in on the Deathwing. Still at 40 armor, so he's got 4 plates, which means he's still able to use his level 1. While he's at 3 or more armor plates, he's able to heal.
Leroy Ghost Walking Brightwing coming in. A nice Ice Wall catching just the Tassadar. The Entomb catching both, however. Ana gonna fall while Tassadar starts to thaw out. Leap back onto the
I should use that to escape, but she's gonna suffer for that.
I wish I had those balls. Holy crap, Sonya, what are you doing? But it was a nice 3-man stun, trying to get some spin out. Got stunned out of it and got disrupted. Mei finishing up the Sonya and the Varian. And our coach calling Vel out. Oh man. So a really good engage on that altar. ProBUs looking to fight back. Unfortunately not able to pick up a kill there. And the altar goes over to ReGen Ghost, now rocking a 12-point lead. And they're sieging bot. They're looking to solidify their advantage.
Yeah, the bot lane is of pivotal importance on Towers of Doom because you can park 4 people in there, take the bot keep, and then run 6 pumpkin sappers down the lane. And it's a constant threat because if those sappers make it to the end, that's extra points of damage on your core.
Well, not just that. This bot lane also controls access to 2 altars. So if you choke off a retreat from this bottom altar, the enemy team has nowhere to go. In this middle altar, it really chokes them out into this choke point by their camp and the middle lane. So that's the other really big reason why you want it. But these sappers, getting 6 sappers in, I've seen games won off of a single sapper making it across this bot lane.
And there will be a fight over the next objective coming up right now. As you can see at the bottom, there's a little gray area, now it's flashing yellow. While Leoric and Sonya are still top and mid, and they're probably going to trade those 2 off while the 4-man do get out bot. No,
yeah.
Sonya's getting ready to rotate again to help her team and turn it into a potential 5v4.
I think she's trying to get 16 maybe, but having a 5v4 and giving up an altar might let them be able to take control over the bot lane, which would also be really good. But it looks like we get making a play for the. So Leoric, what's the order that this is gonna happen? All right, so Leoric caps before the bottom altar falls. The bottom tower rather. The bottom tower does not fall. And this altar
still a 15-16. So I don't know if ProBUs should be posturing up so aggressively. Leoric is gonna come in and look for an Entomb.
Yeah, there's the drain. There's the Entomb onto the arc on Tassadar saying, "But I have a laser." As Tychus tries to dash out, gets caught up by the Sonya. Cataclysm back in onto the Sonya. Gonna try to catch the Varian as well. Maybe not Sonya. Spear over to the Brightwing. Brightwing says, "Yeah, but I'm a dragon, maybe." And Sonya dies. Now we have 5v4 onto ProBUs. Leoric going back with the tap, but gonna come back. There's a taunt onto the Mei. Mei at half health. Heal block on the Mei. Quarter health. Lots of dot damage. Lunara going for the finish. Not gonna be enough. There's the shield. While Tychus is able to finish up the cap, Tassadar finishes his Q quest. And still more engaged. ReGen Ghost going for the kill right now. 8-bit taunting Aaron. And yes, the ice wall blocking the trap. And Aaron bringing in a lot of pain as a Leoric. Just a huge obstruction. That fight went a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center.
They're going to be invading this camp, and they've just taken the bot tower. They might be trying to push it in. Not taking their own camp just yet.
6 cap or hold the fort?
Hold the fort. As you mentioned, this this tower is like really important, as you can see, the next objective is going to be 2 towers in right under the mid lane and right under the bot lane.
And they just got 3 sappers across. These 2 towers could end the game. Unlike Lord of the Rings, where it does not end the story, it's just more of walking and walking and walking like the sappers do all game long.
Objective is up, but this is an even Talontier fight. ProBUs needs to make a move on at least one of these.
Just taking a quick look at that that tower right there. Looks pretty cool. Look at the art, the window panes. Whoever did that does not get appreciated. Mongoose getting chucked down. Mongoose dead immediately, but not without taking Ana with her. And Andrew looking low.
A great interrupt on Brightwing, because I saw her trying to shift in onto Mei, but
Lunari gets dropped as well.
I think this is game. Sonya gets chased down.
Yeah, Sonya goes down too. That's this is game right here. GG. Oh no, Tassadar picking up the 3 up at the top. So 5 goes over to ReGen Ghost, plus 2 sappers make it in. 7 of the 8 health left. A boss will win it, an altar will win it. Anything but a stupid play from ReGen Ghost will win this game.
This is dangerous because this boss tends to have really weird targeting. It's not going to hit the closest person, and then you see Tyga's getting really low, turning on the Odin, throwing everything at the boss. They're trying to cap this before ProBUs are able to take a fight. Still not level 20 yet. It's while zoning them off. It's going down, and they're going to take it.
And that is GG over to ReGen Ghost. GG's coming out in chat. A sweep coming from ReGen Ghost onto ProBUs, but these are 2 of the top teams in the division. ReGen Ghost caught ProBUs, took care of them today. Look for them in the playoffs. This will be a rematch. I am quite sure of it. And again, GG over to ReGen Ghost. So Azrael, again, we're looking at this summary screen, this post game. What is it? What is it that you think? Who do you think's MVP of the match?
Oh, the drafter.
The draft.
I think that was just really hard for ProBUs to play into this. Yes, they managed to kill Mei 2 times, but generally it's not a reliable way. I think just the strength of the Deathwing, the Brightwing, and the Tychus to burn down anyone who tries to kill their precious Overwatch hero is just way too much.
Yeah, that was.
That was a great job. I don't know, but I think Brightwing had some really clutch saves. Andrew, and as well, his Uther was really clutch on the Infernal Shrines game, so I'm giving it to Andrew.
All right, always got to show some love to the healer. All right, we're going to get us an interview. I will meet you over in the NGS Discord server looking at lobby. Oh. I didn't finish telling him. Sorry, I didn't finish telling you. Looking at lobby 5. All right. All right. Oh, and there I have a Mongoose. Mongoose, do you want to bring anybody else like the team designated MVP? And we are still waiting on the co-caster to make it in here.
I don't know. They're shy.
They're shy. Oh, who is it? Who is it?
I don't know. Let's see. Does anyone want to join me?
Who's the MVP? I'll go yell at him.
Oh, ooh, what a great question. Poof. You know what? I'm gonna say Andrew. Andrew, we look good because Andrew keeps us from dying when we do stupid stuff.
All right, I'm gonna go yell at him real quick. Andrew, you're the MVP. Come to the interview. NGS Lobby 5. All right. Oh. All right. So. Oh, that's not Andrew. That's Arrow. But that's a different channel. So Mongoose, while we have you, everyone except Andrew's hopping on in. Dang. There's the Andrew. So, oh my goodness. So, first, Mongoose. Who's drafting for the team?
I'm usually game planning it, and I kind of tentatively plan out the bands, but it's pretty collaborative, honestly. We're pretty good about chatting it up and throwing ideas out there.
So, like, this is
we
what we
have a-
want. How do we do it? And everybody
yeah,
puts out their hero.
we kind of always have a target comp that we're looking at and going into a game, and for the comps that we like to run, we have pivots, like things that we know we can pivot out of if we don't like something we see, or an alternate. Hero A is the hero we prefer with this comp, but if that one's not available, we know this one will work. As kind of a substitute. So we have an idea of what we want going in. But actually, during the draft, for like mid-draft adjustments and bans, that's all pretty collaborative, and all the guys have a pretty good idea and feel for the game.
Well, that's good. That's really good. So game 1, ReGen Ghost running classic ReGen Ghost. Was that the plan ahead of time going into Shrines, or?
Yeah, that was we pretty much got what we wanted in that first game.
Cool. So I'm gonna let Azrael ask questions about game 1 if he has any.
Yeah. Did you guys draft around stopping Sonya because you know that they were going to get first pick, or do you just want to play your own strategy and see if they could counter you?
In game 1, we really just picked what we had in mind the whole time, and it's something we feel comfortable on, and if we kind of feel like we're comfortable that we can play well and win a game with the comp, and we kind of want to put it on the other team to stop us from what we're doing, and if they do that with their comfort picks, that's good. There's so many heroes in the game, and a good team like that, it's really hard to ban out everything, so kind of pick your poison a little bit.
Okay.
So with that, you're way far. You're a few levels ahead on game 1. You're looking at pushing some keeps. Yeah, the immortal goes down. Some of their heroes are down, and you're starting to hold on to the map. You want to hold on to your lead. What are you looking at to not give up your to not hand mistakes over to the other team?
Vision control is important. You want to make sure you're aware of what the other team is. I try to think about what I would be wanting to do if I'm in their situation, so you don't want to give them that 16-19 fight, because that's, if you're on the other side, that's the fight that you want to take, right? So you don't want to put yourself in a situation to give up that fight. I think it's important to stay decisive in your rotations, move around quickly. And when you have that much map control like we did in the game 1, I think it's really important. The vision is so important, like not letting them know exactly where you are if at all possible.
Yeah. So was the call 5-man roam together the whole time? Don't let them catch us out.
Yeah, sometimes you split Leo off depending on where they're showing and what's going on, but at that point in the game, we're mostly going to stay together.
So Andrew, the Divine Shield. When you have the dirty bathtub, you have Joanna to set it up. I would have thought Divine Storm to keep that isolated. What was Divine Shield the plan the whole time? What was that decision-making process? Tell me about the Uther in general, because the healer's flexible on that type of a comp.
Right. You pick the healer to kind of counter him, right? Like, it was either Brightwing or Uther in that game to shut down Diablo and Sonya. But Brightwing's teleport just pulls out an APOC from Diablo, and then you're stunned the second you teleport in. So Uther tends to be better. And they had a lot of stuns, and Stukov, his silence procs Guardian of Ancient Kings. So Uther's a great fit. Why Shield instead of Storm? We kind of play it by how the match is going. So Storm maybe stopped Sonya in the back end once, but it also has a tendency to make Uthers be out of position. I needed to be more backliney or in between there. And then Divine Shield, it lets you keep something that you're almost winning, but you lose because of one lucky skill shot, one missed skill shot, whatever. Divine Shield lets you keep that from turning south. So when you're ahead like that, Divine Shield can almost keep you from falling behind afterwards.
Okay. I always thought of Divine Shield as more of a comeback talent, but it makes sense to prevent a comeback as well because whoever's the pick doesn't get picked, things like that. So that makes sense. Oh, that. Thank you to chat for reminding me. So I've been told, Andrew. I was told by Masked Introvert in the chat, Andrew, you better win. I bet all of my points on you. Whatever that means to you, that you know. But I figured I would share because you were called out specifically for it.
I've heard I have to rewatch it to catch the most embarrassing dab of all time.
Oh no! Azriel, did you have an embarrassing dab?
I do not know what you guys are talking about.
All right, so on to game 2. Let's keep going with you, Andrew. So you're playing Deathwing. You take Emerald Wind, which is not taken very often on the true terror of the skies. You also have a fire-breathing dragon on your team, and you're playing Deathwing. So, there's hint, wink, nudge, nudge over there. I'm interested in the Brightwing pick. I'm also interested in the Emerald Wind pick. I'm also interested in, holy crap, did you save so many freaking lives?
So Brightwing is good. Ironically, Brightwing is actually good at saving someone from the blow-up. So when we saw the Varian, you get the poly, you get the occasional save with your trait, and you get the Z in. The Anna was a really good counter into that because I couldn't Z in every time because it would just throw a grenade out, right? That actually cost May pretty much every one of her deaths was because of that.
Absolutely.
Really good pick and those really good biotic grenades. But
Yeah,
usually
I saw a lot of
heal.
minus 100% healing.
Yeah, usually I go blink heal, but Emerald Wind there let me a couple times. Like they really need to stick on people, right? And a couple times Emerald Wind, I'm glad I took it. I regretted it at the very first fight after we got our 10s because I tried to go in to save Lid from that really good gank by the Varian, where he's really patient. And then I could have blinked out of that and saved myself. But Wind paid off a couple other times. It was actually pretty quiet. It was like on that middle point, Sonya and I forget who, Lunara maybe, were trying to come in through that top poke onto the back line. But Emerald Wind just kept them out for the time we needed to kill the rest of their team. Then they were no longer capable of doing anything, right? So Blink is nice, but in these cases, we just needed the time for Deathwing and May's stuff to really kick in and for Lid's percent damage to murder him.
Yeah, so I saw you saving the May a good chunk of the time. Coming in, who did you expect to be hyper shifting to the most? Phase
Oh,
shifting.
May.
Huh? The May? You
Hands
thought-
down May. Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
Mongoose
we-
is really good at pulling the ire of the team, and you can't ignore May. You know,
Well,
you
we
can
thought
kind of ignore
maybe-
Johanna, but
Yeah, we thought maybe Tychus would draw the most taunts and things like that, so we thought maybe it would have been him. But
no, Lid's fantastic at keeping himself safe.
Yeah, we also specifically were talking after the draft before the game started. It was Deathwing and May need to be eating all the Varian, right? The backline cannot step forward and eat that. That's on Deathwing and May to take up the space and make him go on one of those two.
yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Real quick, Mongoose, before we come back to you, Azriel, do you have any questions for the MVP, the designated MVP, Andrew?
Yeah, I remember that very last fight, like before the boss, I saw you teleporting onto May, but was that a biotic grenade that hit, or were you interrupted from your hypership?
I was interrupted
Yeah.
on that, yeah. I'll give you a little, I picked one unusual Brightwing talent I'll call out there. Because I couldn't use the Z as much, I actually took the, usually I take the heal increase on Pixie Dust.
Yeah.
But I actually took the increased armor. increased spell armor.
Supposedly, now you're a better healer than I am. There's a reason I'm still in gold. But supposedly, once they took the extra heal off of took phase shift off of the extra heal, in theory, Pixie Power actually overtook that talent with the cooldown reduction as well. I'm interested in your thoughts on that too, since it came up.
I can see the value in it, but you're putting a lot of value in being able to hit the Pixie Dust when you need it. I still like the healing one in general, because what it lets me do is if I'm taking Blink Heal, especially, it lets me just throw a Pixie Dust on somebody and burn a Blink Heal and get a lot more value out of it and get people back.
That makes absolute sense. Cool. Mongoose, overall impression of game 2.
Frankly, I was surprised at how easily we had to adjust about midway through that game, and how easily they were blowing me up. That you don't really get exploded a lot on May.
Right.
And we were, the taunt variant with the Ana is, tried and true. There's a reason teams run it, and they ran it really well, and they really beat me up a couple of times. So we kind of had to make a mid-game adjustment, which was we told Dub. Normally, you kind of want to control the other tank, right? So you kind of square off with the other tank, keep track of him, try to eat his CC and peel the team. But that wasn't working because Varian would just taunt me and I died. So we told Dub, Dub, your job is to mark Varian. You stay in front of Varian. I'll hold the flanks and deal with the rest of the team. But Deathwing is gonna be the one that stands in front of Varian all the time because he's not gonna burn his stuff on the Deathwing, right? And once we kind of made that in-game adjustment, it really made a big difference.
Okay, yeah. So tell me the Deathwing pick too. I'm gonna ask you about the Deathwing pick, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to Azrael.
We were actually a little concerned about them taking the Deathwing. We know they have a kind of a pocket Deathwing they've run from time to time. So we were actually talking about whether or not they would consider taking it with what they had, and then that kind of turned into, you know what? Actually, Deathwing looks really good here for us. We kind of weren't really thinking about it until we started talking about it for them, and like, well, actually, Taunt Varian, Deathwing, we'll keep it away from them. And I think it ended up being a really solid pick for what we were doing. So,
okay. And otherwise,
yeah,
this draft was what y'all were going for to begin with, or was this more reactionary? Which I think might have been Azrael's first question, and like I said, I'm gonna give it to him from there.
We always have on Towers Vikings in the back of our heads. Obviously, they did their homework. All of the bands they had really good bands. Like they did their homework. So we always have the Vikings in the back of our head. But after that, it's basically just kind of a pick our strongest heroes and build a solid comp after that. That's the early pick. May she's just so strong. The Tychus is the same, which they banned away in game. Both of those were banned away in game ones for good reasons because they're strong and they're our comfort heroes. So, but I guess they felt like the game one, they wanted to keep something different away from us, and so it allowed us to kind of grab those ones that they denied us in that game one.
All right, Azrael, for real now, your show.
Just a question. I noticed that Aaron generally didn't rotate as much as the other offlaner to help you guys in the format. Were you doing that intentionally? Do you feel that he gets more value by double soaking? Or did you feel that he should have helped you guys to get ganks and turn fights around?
I don't think there's a wrong answer to that. It just depends on what your team wants to do, right? If they rotate their solo laner down and we're disciplined and communicate and we back up and don't get caught out, it's a waste of resources for them, right? Now, we actually got caught out a couple times, and it's all on us because Aaron's calling that out. When Sonya missing, she's coming down, the foreman has to back up, and then it's a waste of resources for them, and we've gained an advantage somewhere else in the map. So I don't think he necessarily needs to come down. Leo's really good at double soaking after 4. It's just a matter of communicating what's going on, so if you're outnumbered, you got to back up. And we have plenty of disengage. There was just no reason to get caught out, and Sonya did a nice job of getting on us a couple of times, and it really hurt.
Okay. Azrael, anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, so quick stat point out. Tychus in Leoric full 100% kill participation. Also, Literak in the chat saying it was a solid game except for the fact Dubsy 613 stealing half of his kills.
Yeah, we made dub into a verb now. It's called dubbin when you take all the other players' kills away.
And that's different from dabbin, which
Correct.
Andrew has to go watch.
That's right.
All right. So, anything else from game 2 either of you think should be pointed out?
I liked in that last fight that kind of won us the game how long Dub managed to keep Varian in the fire, because Varian's hard to kill through the protect. But he lost so much health there.
The Ice Wall Entomb, that Ice Wall Tassadar entombed in Fire Breath Varian, then as he died, the Tassadar came out of the Ice Wall. Oh, chef kiss.
Yeah, we were discussing Avalanche or Ice Wall, but I was afraid of tacoing it, so I went.
That was the other question, and screw you, man. So how did we get the Ice Wall decision when I've seen your Avalanches on this map?
The more we're playing it, I think we're more largely coming to the conclusion, and maybe Andrew disagree with me wrong. I think we're coming Ice Wall just generally a little bit better.
Sets up better. I agree.
Yeah. So I think when you want the Avalanche is when you want to have that, let's hit the reset button and throw everybody away, and Ice Wall can kind of do that too. So I think probably in general we're going to be looking at more Ice Wall unless there's a specific reason that we want Avalanche. But if there wasn't a specific reason for it, I think we're probably going to be going to the Ice Wall more and more.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where did I've noticed you've been playing May a bit more. And you're playing her pretty well. Where did you get your May build? Where have you been looking for inspiration on playing May?
Well, everything I need to know I learned from number 13 May NA, and that's Taco.
Oh, you overwhelmed him.
Did you do your upload?
I did. I'm waiting for it to recalculate so I can re-screen cap something and see. Look, I'm number 14. Oh, 14.
Well, I appreciate it. I was trying to bait that out, but I didn't expect you to go through with it. Thank you. No, you're playing a really good May. I like this build. The flurry is the level 13. I think is probably the most flexible talent, but I think you're playing her really well. Watching it and not tacoing it, which is probably the biggest improvement from ReGen Ghost May players.
I think one of her strengths, frankly, she has. I don't really have a set build with her. I'm kind of picking talents based on what I think's going to happen in the game a lot of the time. She
has 3 really strong builds in my opinion.
Yeah, she has a lot of variation in what she can do. I'm frankly surprised they didn't hit her with a nerf on Tuesday, honestly.
If you were to nerf May, what would you do?
I think what you and I kind of discussed off to the side, is changing the stun to a root is not a bad idea, and maybe a small, not too big, but a little bit of a health nerf would be good.
Yeah, I think it's a really
Blizzard
good
is
and
so
fun.
big.
It's a good and fun tank
so
kit.
disruptive. Yeah, it really is.
Azrael, I see you keying up. You have a thought on that? No, I can't hear you. No, okay, sorry. I saw your mic keying up. All right, so Andrew, Mongoose, shoutouts.
I'll let you start.
Well, Mrs. Andrew for the quote of the day. We have to shout out Mrs. Andrew.
Which quote of the day?
What did she say?
Oh, no. Here we go. I spent all my tacos on your first win, then won big and redeemed a dab. Perhaps the 2 most nonsensical sentences I've ever read in a chat with you.
Well, all right, Mrs. Andrew.
So shout out to Mrs. Andrew for the quote of the night. The guys on ProBUs too, of course, 8-Bit and Zadie and everyone else over there. They're always fun to play with. We always have good games with them. Lid, Dub, Andrew, the boys, Murda, all our friends over in ReGen. We like to root each other on. And the caster, of course. Thanks to Taco for picking up the game. And,
absolutely.
And that's it. That's it for me.
And Azrael this was his first cast. I shared it with the group, but this is his first co-cast.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Co-casting is the way to go, man. You get to just show up and not do any of the hard work.
All right. Thanks, Mongoose. Andrew?
Hey, he already called them all out, but, I'll include NGS for always putting these games together. I've been playing NGS for a long time. It was random that I got pulled into it, but otherwise I'd probably still just be pulling quick matches and disappointed with everything in the game.
I found NGS by Google searching shoutcasting.
Really?
Yes. I Season 9 I didn't play at all. I purely was shoutcasting. That's all I did was casting until I moved.
Nice.
Yeah. It was a great way to find NGS, and I too love the community. Guys, congratulations. Thank you so much. And you guys have a great evening celebrating with the team.
Thanks again, Taco.
Yeah, thanks for hosting.
Absolutely. Azrael, so coming out of this match, anything else that you want to hit on that you think is that we should recap?
I'm pretty good. I didn't know that these teams had a history because they said it's always fun to play against each other. And as you mentioned, if they do meet again in the playoffs, I'm really excited to see that.
Yeah, they play an XGDI against each other. Although I think the ProBUs team is a little bit different. I know the Region Ghost team is 1 or 2 people different. But ProBUs and Region Ghost have been in the same division, I think, for several seasons in a row now.
Okay.
And I really do believe that there'll be a playoff matchup, or at least both teams. I do believe both teams will be in the playoffs, and I think they will still be top 4 seeds.
Awesome.
So before we go, Asriel, you said earlier you don't have a Twitter, you have a Twitch, but you don't stream. You said.
Yeah, that's right.
So if anybody wants to find you, how do they find you?
You find me in game.
There you go. Find Asriel in game. Any shout outs, my friend, before we go?
Shout out to Ice Crown Citadel. It's my NGS team. I am a sub there, but it's my first season with NGS. Learning a lot. Thank you for the opportunity to cast with you, and hope to do it again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Which Ice Crown Citadel team are you on? Because there's like a million.
I'm with the Raiders.
Raiders, and that is the D team or one of the E teams?
It's one of the E teams.
One of the E teams. I think in my division, maybe. I don't know. East?
East.
Why did I not ask you about more strategies? So, all right, there you go. Ice Crown Citadel Raiders. Also, I'm Taco. I am captain of ReGen Rebels. You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter at the Lil Taco. TheLilTaco. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for attending. We're going to drop in on Moist Weenus, bringing you some more NGS action. I believe he is casting Dax's game. Weenus and Dax, friends of mine in this NGS community, great people. So please hang around, hang out in Weenus' stream, and cheer on the Daxter in just a couple minutes. Have a wonderful night. Shui, I will do the sit-ups. Crap. I owe you sit-ups. I'll talk to you about how we're going to redeem those.